Straight Politicking on you fools. I'm Alex Alonso. I'm sitting here with Munchie B and Spider Loke, and I'm always looking forward to another conversation with these two brothers, man. How y'all doing?
East the deal. I'm blessed.
I'm Gucci and
East the
Gabbana.
deal.
Straight.
Okay. Hey, Spider, I wanted to start off with you corrected me on the pronunciation of a word last episode. I said divisive. I'm shocked that you even knew I pronounced that word wrong. It's actually divisive.
I'm such a weird...
How did you know that?
I'm not shocked at all.
You're not shocked? I mean, you know what? Ever since I've known Spider for the last several years, going back, I don't know, 17 or 18, now it's been, 7, 8 years, I've always been impressed with his mouthpiece.
That's why I ain't shocked.
And that's why I've invited him to even come over here to the platform, because I knew he was a good voice. But it's a word that I'm surprised. I mean, it's just a bizarre word out of left field that it's actually pronounced divisive incorrectly a lot, because I was reading the response to it, and they're saying that in the last 5 years, a lot of politicians, I think Barack Obama said divisive, and it got that popular. So it's been pronounced wrong for years, and I guess there's a few words like that.
I know how well spoken and how well read you are, so if you recall, I wasn't too confident when I corrected you. I was like, I wasn't sure, because you used it so casually. I'm like, I know I can learn things too. But yeah, it sounded irregular, so it caught my ear. And so that's crazy to find that out. But I've learned, since my lifetime, the last thing that reminds me of I saw that happen was with the word conversate. Because I used to be aware of, I used to hear in our culture, a lot of people say, we can conversate. And that I was aware that wasn't a word. So I was like, it's actually converse. And I remember in the most recent years when I went to correct someone, I got educated that now conversate is an actual word.
Yeah, I think they added conversate into the dictionary a few years back. So it's technically a correct English word, but I don't think the Brits over there in England are going to appreciate that. Nah, because we speak in their language, actually,
Yeah, you don't often realize that when you get to speaking it, right?
But there's a whole lot of words that have been added. There's one cool word I thought was kind of interesting, ginormous. Have you heard of that word?
I have, but I thought it was a fake word.
No, it's actually
both of them together.
Ginormous is in the dictionary now. Yeah, taking gigantic and enormous.
Never heard it before in my life.
You never heard ginormous?
I've heard it, but I thought it was just somebody, just fucking around.
Nah, I mean, I think that's how it started. Mm-hmm. And then I remember one year, the dictionary people, whoever run the English language in the United States, they enter new words
Correct.
every year.
Correct. The first one in my life I can recall was ain't. We were always taught that ain't was improper English. Don't be saying ain't. Don't run around here saying ain't. And I guess it became such a common phrase that it got entered into the dictionary. Ain't just a word.
Instead of saying aren't, people were saying ain't.
It say, are you going to go to the store? No, I am not. No, you ain't. That was bad. That was slang. That was bad grammar when we was coming up. Don't be saying ain't. That don't sound good.
Yeah, I remember.
I think that came from the Midwest or the South, the ain't, and then it just...
It's official word too now.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, ginormous is in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. It means humongous, or and one here's an example: had a ginormous house with a swimming pool and a pool table.
It makes so much sense.
But I don't usually hear people using it in a casual sense.
No.
I never heard it at all. That's crazy.
Hey, his house was ginormous. That don't even sound right, huh?
Why not just say enormous or gigantic, either or?
Yeah, I don't know. But, hey, man, I appreciate that you knew that I pronounced that word. You know what? I think I'm still going to say divisive.
You are that arrogant.
Because when I read that Barack...
You are that arrogant.
No.
Just the dude, you riding the car with this dude, you listen to GPS, he going to tell you, fuck that bitch, go this way, go that way. So,
hey, I heard that Barack Obama said divisive. A whole bunch of people were on his back when he said it. I don't even remember this, but I was reading the article, and quite a lot of people say divisive. I kind of like the way it sounds better than divisive.
It doesn't sound, now that I'm familiar with hearing it, it doesn't sound like a bad word to you. It sounds like it could fit.
Divisive sound more, what's the word? It make you, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody more intellect could say it sound more fancy than divisive.
I don't know. I've been saying it like that for as long as I've been using the word.
You ain't never heard nobody say Chick-fil-A instead of Chick-fil-A?
I have, actually. How about Chick-fil-A?
No, I don't know about
That's what they say. In Puerto Rico, it's called Chick-fil-A.
I heard your boy say Worm used to work at Home Depot.
I thought we weren't going to mention certain people.
My bad.
We're Home Depot. All right. Hey, last week we spoke about this shooting that was captured on camera, and we never mentioned his name. We're speaking on the dead, and we never mentioned his name. I had to look up his name. Deondre Brunston from Park Village, Compton crib was shot by the Compton sheriffs in 2003 on a porch when he was threatening to pull his gun out only if they sent the dog in.
That was a detail I had forgot when we was talking about. I remember that dog.
Yeah. And apparently they not only killed Deondre Brunston, but they also shot and killed their own dog. You know,
And I recall, if I'm not mistaken, they ran into the scene to render assistance and aid to the dog before they even paid any attention to the youngster.
That's absolutely true. For those who are interested in that footage, it is online. It is very disturbing if you decide you want to watch it. But his name is Deondre Brunston, Brunston. And that was just something that we touched on last week. I wanted to mention his name. And then we touched on the Ryan Twyman situation when we were talking about civil versus criminal. And I wanted to look it up. Munchie, you already knew this, but the Ryan Twyman family. Now, Ryan Twyman is another guy that got shot and killed by the deputies. That was also captured on camera in 2019, I want to say. And Jackie Lacey decided that she wasn't going to charge the deputies in that one, but the family was still successful in getting a $3.9 million payout. And then after the fact, under another DA, George Gascon, he decided to charge one of the two deputies for over excessive shooting.
What does that hold, Max?
Well, he went on trial. He took a deal. He took a deal at the last minute. They gave him 30 days.
I'd rather they drop the case, bro.
They gave
Don't insult.
so disrespectful.
Don't insult nobody. His mom and they probably want justice and shit. They should have just dropped it, bro. 30 days.
Yeah, I think he took a deal for the lesser manslaughter, and I don't know how 30 days is not even part of any of the manslaughter sentences.
They should have just dropped that shit, bro.
Well, here's one good thing about it: dude is a convicted felon, and he can never work as a cop again. So, you know, at least he got that.
Yeah.
Some of these cops that are found that they did something wrong, but they're never criminally charged, they get rehired.
Yeah, they go to different. Yep.
Yeah, they go to other departments. So
Hold on, because you say when they charged.
yeah, some cops that are not charged, but they've determined that you operated out of policy. Let's say.
Oh, but you know that's when they resign and don't get fired though.
Yeah, or you can just straight get terminated because you operated out of policy, but that's not to stop the next department from hiring you. There was a law that they were trying to pass a couple years ago to make it so that you can never be hired again, but it didn't pass.
Okay, so but
Certification. They wanted a law that says if you're found that you did something wrong, even if you're not charged, but it was wrong what you did. Like, for example, they've determined that some of the guys that are involved in Breonna Taylor shooting, they were wrong, but none of them were criminally charged. They're going to get fired. I believe a couple got fired, but guess what?
Rehired.
You get rehired at another department. They don't lose their certification as a police
I
officer.
wonder they go from like police to sheriffs or they just
They can go anywhere they want.
Depending on where you go and what systems in place.
So I thought it was a great law that cops should lose their certification once they're found that they did something wrong, especially if somebody got killed.
Well, you know, if Trump wins, he's projecting that he's going to extend immunity across the board to all police, no matter what.
Yeah, Trump is crazy, but we'll talk about Trump in a minute. But I wanted to
oh, that's some bullshit.
I wanted to tap in on the Boosie case. We mentioned it a couple weeks ago that his whole gun case got dropped by the feds, and it's kind of surprising because we said, "Dang, Crip Mac ain't getting that love." Crip Mac about to do maybe 10.
Mozzie didn't get that love either.
Well, Mozzie only had to do one,
But he had to do one.
Yeah, he had to do one.
Crip Mac ain't got no money brought it for the representation though. That's the difference.
I'm surprised.
Mozzie do.
But I wanted to tap in with the attorney that defended him. Her name is Meghan Blanco. She's an incredible defense attorney here in Los Angeles. Apparently, she picked up this case in San Diego. And
you familiar with her or you just did some research?
No, I'm familiar with her.
Okay.
I've worked with her before.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
And when I saw her name on the Boosie case last year, I think when did he pick up this case? About a year ago?
Yeah, like last summer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Last summer, I saw her name on there, and when we saw the dismissal, I'm like, wow, he got dismissed. Because remember, the state the state dropped the case, went over to the feds, and you know, once the feds got it, it's pretty much a
Everybody
wrap.
say the feds won't come until they got you.
But she got the case dismissed, and we're gonna get her on the phone. Can you call Meghan? And we'll just pause while here we go. Here we go.
Hi, this is Meghan.
Meghan, this is Alex, and I'm on. We're doing the podcast Straight Politicking, and we're talking about the Boosie case that you were defending. How you doing?
I'm doing so well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. So yeah, we had a couple questions about the case. First and foremost, can you give us a background of the case from what we understand? And I'm here with my co-hosts, Munchie B and Spider Loke, and we wanted to know how did he get charged with this case in the first place? Because from what we understand, there was a music video that was being recorded, and apparently there was a gun tucked in the back of his pants, and that kind of got the whole investigation going. Can you give us a background on how he got charged in the first place?
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Mr. Hatch was out in San Diego for work. He was asked to make an appearance in a music video. Someone else who was present, I don't know if they were involved in shooting the video, was taking their own video with their phone and uploading it on to social media. Turns out local San Diego law enforcement was monitoring that guy's social media account.
That's crazy.
Crazy, I know.
Wait,
Crazy.
so they were monitoring his social media in real time?
In real time. They had a guy who was sitting behind a desk monitoring his social media account. I don't know how long it had been going on, but he was doing it in real time.
Wow.
So they see what they think is a gun. They see the where Mr. Hatch was tagged in the post. They click on the post and realize that he was, a famous rapper. What they do next is they send up a helicopter. They send all of these squad cars to follow him, pull him over in what we call a T-stop, so just a traffic stop, trying to find things or reasons to pull him over. And then the state at that point charges him with being a felon in possession. So fast forward several weeks, he's on bond in the state case, complying, doing everything he's supposed to do. The judge in the state case, after reviewing all of the evidence, decides that the case is worth a probationary sentence. So he tells the parties, hey, listen, next time we come to court, my intention is to allow him to plead to probation. Mr. Hatch is, ecstatic about it. He comes to court thinking he's going to resolve everything. He's going to accept the probationary plea. Before that happens, the DA dismisses. FBI comes in and literally arrests him and takes him into custody.
Okay, was there any conversations between the feds and the San Diego prosecutors about this was going to happen, or were the San Diego prosecutors surprised, or were they in on it?
We asked to review communications between the federal government and the locals who originally handled the case. We didn't actually get access to those communications, but my belief is the locals knew about it. The reason I'm saying that is because they moved to dismiss the case before Mr. Hatch was arrested by the FBI. So at least at some point before Mr. Hatch's arrest, they were given word that the FBI was going to come in and arrest him. It's my belief that they very likely reached out to the federal government to make the arrest because they were unhappy with the judge's bench offer.
So the judge was genuinely going to give him give him this probation, or do you think the judge was just saying that because he knew the feds were coming?
No, I think the judge was going to give him probation. He asked to review the file. It's my understanding from counsel in the case that the DA and defense counsel had meetings with the judge concerning a resolution in the case, and that the judge, I think, made the right call given what the circumstances were. It wasn't like Mr. Hatch was doing anything illegal separately. He was just working. He was, shooting a music video. He wasn't engaged in any sort of illicit or bad activity at the time.
Did they find a gun on the vehicle when they pulled him over?
So when Mr. Hatch was pulled over, there was a gun that was retrieved from the vehicle. That's correct.
And was that was the state at the time alleging that gun in the vehicle was the same one in the music video?
Right. So that was what Mr. Hatch was initially charged with in the state. So the state charges are identical to the federal charges. And in fact, the discovery in the state case is basically identical to the discovery in the federal case. It's the same case. It was just rolled up federally.
Okay, so how were you able to work your magic to get the feds to eventually dismiss the case?
So, when this was all going on, there was movement in the Supreme Court concerning what we call 922G1 cases, those felon and possession cases. And the Supreme Court was reevaluating whether and to what extent the federal government can regulate and prohibit people from owning guns or from possessing guns. Back in 2023, we filed a motion to dismiss based on some early case law on the case. That motion was denied. And then fast forward a few months, and in May, a new case came out in the Ninth Circuit. And that case is U.S. versus Duarte. And in it, the Ninth Circuit said that individuals who have nonviolent drug priors can't be prohibited from owning a gun or from possessing a gun for lawful defense. So once that case came out, we renewed our motion, and the court ultimately granted it.
So basically, you're conceding that he possessed the gun, but it was a legal possession.
So we were attacking the indictment against Mr. Hatch. According to the indictment, as the government alleges, Mr. Hatch was a felon, that his felonies related to nonviolent drug cases, and that he possessed a gun. So we didn't get into the actual facts of the case at all. We attacked the indictment and what the indictment alleged. And what the indictment alleged against Mr. Hatch under current law in the Ninth Circuit is not permissible. The government cannot make those allegations against people like Mr. Hatch, whose only priors are for nonviolent drug felonies.
Okay, well, congratulations on that. I want to know if any of my co-hosts have any questions for you, Megan, or we'll start with Spider.
Hello, Megan. Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
I was just curious, when the probation offer was on the table, was that just straight probation, or was it a joint suspension offered along with that?
Straight probation.
Okay, thank you.
And how many months or years was the judge willing to put Boosie on probation?
I don't know what the terms of the probationary sentence were, but in California, it would have had a 2-year max. So at the upper end, it would have been just 2 years of probation. It's possible, and I don't know, that the judge's offer was for something less than that. And
that was an offer that you guys were willing to accept?
I was not Mr. Hatch's state counsel. I took over with Damian Alamori once the federal indictment was filed, or the federal charges were filed. But it's my understanding from everyone who's involved in that case that Mr. Hatch was intending to accept the government's, the judge's offer.
And the San Diego prosecutor was okay with that too?
That's the fun thing about state courts. A lot different than federal court. If the judge makes a bench offer, the state can object to it. But the judge can still extend the offer, and the judge can accept the offer if the defense accepts it. In this case, the prosecutor was not happy with the judge's offer. The judge made that offer because the prosecution would not make a similar offer to the defense.
Did the feds make an offer at all before you guys got the case dismissed?
No.
Okay.
So the feds were actually trying to give Boosie at least, what is the minimum on a gun case, like 5 years?
There's no mandatory minimum, but the guidelines range is high. So the guidelines range for Mr. Hatch would have been significant, and it would have potentially resulted in a sentence of multiple years in custody.
All right, Munchie, you got a question for Meghan Blanco?
She answered, and y'all covered everything. I was about to ask about the was she representing him in the state, but she answered that. You know what I'm saying? So no, that's about it.
Okay, hey, I appreciate you letting us tap in with you, Meghan Blanco. One quick question on an unrelated topic. Not sure if you heard about this, but breaking news in Atlanta, Judge Glanville, the judge that's overseeing Young Thug's case, got recused and was removed from the trial.
Good.
I saw that, and that is absolutely the right result. But what should also happen is the case should be dismissed, and this trial has got to be granted at this point. You cannot recuse the judge over conduct that related to conduct involving the same prosecutors that are on the case. Okay. So I think we are very close to Young Thug's case resulting in a mistrial.
Now, if they do that, all they got to do is get a new judge and just refile the case again, right?
Well, if they grant a mistrial in the case, given the prosecution's conduct and their involvement in that mistrial motion, I think it would have to go to an entirely new prosecuting agency. So if I were his attorneys, I would move for disqualification of the entire DA's office out there. And then I don't know, we're up against, statute of limitations issues potentially. And then separately, if you get a different DA's office looking at it, they may not come to the same conclusion. I mean, you've done RICO cases just like I have. 9 months to present evidence in a RICO case? That means that they don't have anything. I mean, it doesn't take 9 months to present a government's case in a RICO case.
State RICO
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a different type of RICO though. It's a Georgia RICO case. Is that it's different rules kind of, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different rules, but it's modeled after the federal RICO statute. So while there are certainly differences between the two, it's not different enough where you would expect the the prosecution to require that much time to lay their case out. 9 months is exceptionally long for that type of case.
Yeah, and also the jury selection took weeks.
Yeah, months. Right. I think it was 10 months. Right.
The campaign seemed to be fueled by Fannie's personal passion. If they go to another situation where she's not involved, it might not be that much motivation to even try to redo this whole thing.
That's my exact thought. If it goes to a DA who is less passionate about the charge and who is able to look at it through a lens of neutrality, I don't think the charges are going to stick.
Okay, all right. When Boosie was fighting his last case, was that state or fed? When the big thing with the kid that did all the shootings, was that state or fed?
I'm sorry. Which case was it?
Okay, no. I was wondering, was that a fed case that Boosie overcame before this? Because I'm thinking maybe the feds had it out for him. That's why they wanted to pick it up from the state.
Oh, got it. No, his prior convictions were state convictions out of Louisiana. They were all nonviolent, drug-related convictions. That's not to say that the feds haven't been looking at him. I only know what was produced in our case, but if you're looking at federal interests and taking a case that a state judge decided was only worth probation, and then you're rolling it up and getting the FBI's involvement, using judicial resources on the federal level for it. It really, frankly, just seems uncalled for. That's not what federal resources should be directed towards. Right. The state is perfectly capable of handling felon in possession cases.
Now, Megan, I was a little surprised that they were monitoring Boosie in real time. How common is this now for local law enforcement to be using social media to try to...
Boosie. They was monitoring somebody else.
I mean, who were they monitoring,
this dude,
Megan?
On live.
They were monitoring, and I don't want to put his name out there, but they were monitoring another individual who has really no connection to Mr. Hatch.
Okay.
That individual did have prior involvement with the feds. He had a prior federal case. My suspicion is the feds, when you have prior involvement with the feds and he is out of custody now, sometimes agents don't like that, and they will stick on a person for a period of time to try to re-up additional charges. That may be what was going on in this case. It is highly unusual for the feds to for state law enforcement to sit behind a computer and actively monitor someone's social media account. We don't see that very often, especially in a case like a felon in possession case, and that's ultimately what the charges that were filed are felon in possession charges. It doesn't require a lot of workup like that. That's just an inordinate amount of resources that was dedicated to a case that shouldn't require a lot of resources at all. And then you look at the response afterwards. I mean, sending up a helicopter, that's very expensive. Yeah. And it's also very unusual for a felon in possession case. I think 16 officers responded to a traffic stop to pull him over for a felon in possession case. You do not see that with ordinary people. That was a gross misuse of government resources for a case that just did not require it.
Okay. Lastly, I wanted to know, how did your services become known to Little Boosie, where he decided to hire you? I've been dealing with you for years, so you have a big name here in LA. But how does a guy from Louisiana even know about your services?
One of his state court lawyers, Damon Alamori, who's also on the federal case with me, referred Mr. Hatch to me.
Okay, well, he made a great decision, didn't he?
Oh, Damon is great. He's one of the best lawyers out there. And if you've got a case in LA, definitely go to Damon.
Are there any other high-profile cases you're currently working on?
I've got a couple coming up. I've got that retrial in one of the biggest Mexican mafia RICO cases in the Central District that's starting October 3rd. Then I've got another RICO case going to trial right now in February, and both of those I plan to walk the clients on.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you tapping in with straight politicking, that is, and we'll definitely be in touch, Meghan. Thank you very much for calling in.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Likewise.
Likewise.
That's amazing.
That's hard.
Yeah, no. See, the dude was on live at the video, just like we always be. Turned up.
So they were investigating the other guy.
The other dude from San Diego 40s.
Probably was gang police.
So Boosie just walked into an investigation, right? A live investigation, and got caught up.
And he was being reckless and careless because having that pistol on the small of your back in that environment, not knowing nobody, and anybody could have came and ran up and snatched that motherfucker.
But I think it's a lesson for us to know that when we're invited somewhere or we're going to another event or we're going to a video shoot, you have no idea who's there and if the police are monitoring someone else there, and now you're pulled into their thing. Because Boosie wasn't investigated. Boosie wasn't being monitored. This other dude was.
He got caught on somebody live.
And then I guess while they were doing the real time, one of the cops must have been like, "Oh, that's Boosie BadAzz."
She say he was tagged in the dude's story, and they realized it from the tagging.
Man, that is wild.
If that was anybody else, just a regular dude from San Diego 40s, they wouldn't have had the helicopter or that much police presence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They would have did a regular traffic stop, like you ran a stop sign and put them out the car. And you know what I'm saying? They did all that for Boosie because the notoriety. I don't know.
I think the real interesting legal issue in Boosie's case is that new case law dropped in May, U.S. versus Duarte, that basically says your prior nonviolent convictions should not be used against you in this type of case. So I'm definitely going to tap in. I might put a link to U.S. versus Duarte in the show notes of this because that's brand new, May of 2024.
That's deep.
And that's why people fight their case for so long. You know, laws change every day. And laws get added. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because she kept specifying nonviolent drug.
Yeah.
So is it just nonviolent drug or all nonviolence?
It's all nonviolent offenses, and drugs are considered nonviolent.
But I mean, some other offenses that are not drugs are also considered nonviolent. Like, because even possession of a firearm is considered nonviolent.
Correct.
Strong arm robbery is considered nonviolent.
Is it?
Yes.
Strong arm?
Strong arm?
Strong arm sounds very, they need to rename it then if it's.
But I bet you there's an exception if you do any offenses against minors.
Or if you got gang affiliation.
But she's saying nonviolent drug cases because
That's what
she
he
was
got.
She was talking about him in particular. But damn, we gotta go with if strong
gotta
arm.
look that up, bro.
Strong arm. I think strong arm robbery is violent, bro.
Well, definitely.
Unless you had it in the past, then.
I've had one. That's why I went to prison
Oh, yeah,
for.
all right,
And I
but
believe it was
you had it.
nonviolent.
Yeah, we're going to put.
Oh yeah, we need to double check something. It might have been a long time
I
ago.
remember because it was a shocking thing for me to understand that that's considered nonviolent. That's why it's sticking in my brain. I was shocked that they classified it as nonviolent.
Well, we're going
look that up later.
We're going to put a link to U.S. versus Duarte, and anybody can read that. And basically, that case law that dropped in May of 2024 was used by Meghan Blanco to get his gun case dismissed.
Shout out to Meghan Blanco. You a G with this shit. We respect you.
Congratulations on the W.
Yes.
Yeah, and Meghan Blanco is also working on a Mexican mafia case related to an attorney that got a hung jury on his first trial with her, and they're scheduled to go on trial again.
Carlito's way.
Hey, she tough, man.
Yeah, she's been doing her thing for the last several years. But shout out to Boosie though.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations on his victory as well.
Because everybody was expecting bro to have to sit down for a minute, huh?
That's what I thought was coming.
I thought he might get that, like you mentioned, Mozzie, get
Year
that
in a day.
1 year in a day. Yeah, that 1 year in a day. But hey, I want to pivot back to the Judge Glanville, the judge that was recused in the Young Thug case. And as Meghan Blanco says, she thinks the whole case should now be dismissed.
I tend to agree. I don't see how it can have any other outcome.
I hope that I think his lawyer's already up on that anyway. They thinking the same, but I hope they see this, hear what she said, get on that prosecution, and have them all out of there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull up a quote I said regarding this case some I think last year. That case started in 2023. I actually said I read the entire. I have a clip that I'll dig up, but I read the entire 180 overt acts, and majority of the overt acts in this RICO are social media. They're nonviolent acts. There's a few violent acts in this, but most of the violent acts have nothing to do with Young Thug.
Yeah, they go hard with all these actions, so some can stick, and then like it sounded intimidating in the beginning because I think it was like 28 man indictment.
Yeah,
and a lot of them be low on the indictment anyway, and got minimal involvement, so it just sounded intimidating. I'll get out though, man.
Look, the two serious acts on that indictment are 2 murders. Both those murders have nothing to do with Young Thug. Young Thug is not tied into it, but it's supposed to be Young Slime members that are involved in those issues. So it comes under Young Thug, even though he's not directly connected to it. So I think at this point, man, they got a lot of, the prosecution got a lot of explaining to do. The case is just falling apart in front of their own eyes.
But it's against the law to be a leader these days. Yeah. No, for real. It ain't just been a gang, but from a gang. You know what I'm saying?
You don't even got to be a real leader. You can be a fake leader like Mad Ronald. Mad Ronald ain't no leader of no Atlanta Rolling 20s Bloods, but because they talked about Mad Ronald, they praised Mad Ronald. I think they mentioned Mad Ronald in a rap song. The Georgia authorities came to the conclusion Mad Ronald must be their leader, and got indicted with them.
But not even be a leader, just have influence and be bad and detrimental. That's how people be getting locked up and getting shoot programs because they got a little juice about themselves. They got power and influence, and they might not even be on that type of time.
Hey, you have to watch the press conference that they did when they arrested Mad Ronald and all of the 20 or 30 Atlanta Bloods. The lady in the press conference said, Mad Ronald, we came to Los Angeles and got you. She mentioned him by name in the press conference. And she basically trying to say, just because you're from Los Angeles, don't think the long arm of the Georgia authorities can't get you.
That we realize that gang violence, gang activity has no boundaries. Wherever there's a violation of the law that is gang related, it's a quality of life issue for every Georgian and every American. I'd like to also recognize today that we have our Attorney General, Chris Carr, with us. And of course, we have our Governor, Brian Kemp, and First Lady Marty.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Vic Reynolds. I'm the Director of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and we're here this morning to announce the return of a major indictment in Upson County. This particular operation is dubbed Operation Caged Doves, and I'm proud to announce today that it's netting 46 RICO and gang statute indictments. The investigation showed us that between May 2014 and September 2020, the men and women who have been indicted participated in a pattern of racketeering activity as part of a criminal enterprise known as the Rolling 20 Neighborhood Bloods. GBI gang task force members flew out to Los Angeles, California, for the purpose of looking for the ring leader of this particular group, a gentleman by the name of Ronald Elwood Chapman. Mr. Chapman, we believe, is a third-generation member of this particular gang. And through evidentiary matters, we discovered that he was making organizational decisions regarding the expansion of this group and this gang throughout Georgia, South Carolina, and other states. We issued warrants for his arrest. And late yesterday, GBI gang task force members standing beside LA County Sheriff's Office members, LAPD, and the FBI Fugitive Task Force placed Mr. Chapman in custody. I'm happy to tell you that today he is sitting in the LA County Jail.
My name is Marie Broder. I am the District Attorney for the Griffin Judicial Circuit. I want to start by thanking Governor Kemp. Thank you so much for your fight against criminal street gangs. If you choose to commit crime in the Griffin Judicial Circuit, whether you wield the gun yourself or direct another to wield it in your place, we will prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. No matter how many miles we must travel, we will extradite Mad Ronald Chapman and those others that have been indicted across the United States.
That's why you need to be careful being on the internet hollering out you the king of Atlanta and niggas can't do this and can't do that.
I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
All right, so who wants to predict that Young Thug will be home in 6 months? Because that's what I'm saying.
If you putting a time limit on it, I mean, I'll go with 6 months, but I think he's definitely coming home.
Yeah.
I don't know because everything been long, it been drawn out.
Yeah, I don't know about
It
the
all
time frame.
getting you know what I'm saying?
Can you imagine if you're a juror on this case? Like, I'd be like, this case is going nowhere.
I think he had already had like a saving grace or anchor with that jury. I don't think they could find a jury that has any blacks in Atlanta that's going to automatically. I think it was going to be hard to get 12 in the box, 12 to go against Young Thug.
Georgia, where we visit at be the blacks though. Georgia is a lot of white people, ain't it?
That's correct.
I'm sure that jury is comprised of some. They got quite a few blacks on there. I'm sure.
I wonder what part of Atlanta is he getting tried in. You know what I'm saying? Or
Fulton
Georgia.
County is the county.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get your fair share of white jurors there, but they're gonna be a hand. You might get 1 or 2 black jurors on that jury.
Oh, that ain't enough. You expecting more blacks, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, no, but see, I know Georgia. That's a Republican state. You just like we'll revisit. When we look at on TV, that's us.
And there might be multiple juries because there's multiple defendants. It might not be just one jury for all the defendants. They might have 2. That's why it took so long for the jury selection. I think they did select multiple juries. So, hey.
All right, it started off with 28 people. How many people is actually still fighting?
Oh, man, I haven't been able to keep up with that case. But, yeah.
All right, man. Free thugging, man.
Hey, I wanted to talk about civil versus criminal again because it came up in a brand new, another dismissal. The actor Alec Baldwin. Bro accidentally, I guess it's fair to say he accidentally killed somebody on the set of a movie, right?
Yep.
Using a gun that had blanks. Something, no one thinks that if a gun has blanks, I'm going to kill somebody with, even though I do know blanks can kill.
You fucking me up right now because I was on production this month, bro, and I had to sit this close in a chair and let somebody fire 4 blanks at me multiple times, bro. And it's so loud. They trying to pump you up to react to the shots. Man, you guys do not have to worry. I could not react. So for you to just say it's possible to get killed by the blanks, I
mean, we got examples. Bruce Lee's son, but he put the gun to his head on the movie set. I believe he was playing around with it. He thought it wasn't going to do anything.
Pressure to the temple?
Hey, he put the gun to his head, shot a blank, and died.
Wow.
Hold on.
On the set.
All right, so what's his name again? The actor?
Alec Baldwin.
So I thought his was a real gun that he assumed wasn't loaded.
Well, they always use real guns. They just put blanks in the real guns, right? Spider, yours was a real gun on the set when you was on set?
Yeah, when they want to fire, the gun's real. But they're not always real guns on movies if they don't have to be fired. But when they fire, the process for production is they introduce the firearm onto the set. They make, I don't care if it's 1,000 people in the production. You could be on craft services, have nothing. They make sure everyone there knows we're introducing a firearm. They show you that it's empty. They demonstrate that. They demonstrate what type of ammunition. They show you that they're not live rounds, and they do this big old thing every time they introduce a firearm onto a production.
All right, let me read this from MSNBC. Actor Alec Baldwin. This is just in yesterday. Actor Alec Baldwin sobbed and embraced his defense lawyers after the judge in his Rust involuntary manslaughter trial dismissed the case, finding that prosecutors actually suppressed evidence. The state's willful withholding of this information was intentional and deliberate. First Judicial District Judge Mary Marlowe Summer said, if this conduct does not rise to the level of bad faith, it certainly comes so near to bad faith as to show signs of scorching prejudice. If convicted, Baldwin would have faced up to 18 months in prison for involuntary manslaughter after a revolver he was rehearsing with on the Rust movie set fired a live round and killed cinematographer Hayla Hutchins in 2021.
Hayla is a female.
Yep, she was the female.
Up to 18 months. That was the max. That's just.
What state is this?
It's manslaughter. Oh, this was
Texas or Arizona.
I believe it was
New
Arizona.
New Mexico. I think it was in New Mexico.
Yeah. So.
And rest in peace to her.
Yeah, poor baby.
Now check it out though. Guess who's attorney for? I think I'm mispronouncing her name. Helena Hutchins. She got an attorney. She's like probably the most aggressive female attorney
It got to be
in LA history. You know who it is, Spider.
Allrich, Gloria.
Gloria Allred. So
Yeah.
so here's the conversation about civil versus criminal. Gloria Allred is already filing a civil suit against Alec Baldwin. Why not? He got money.
Start the settlement negotiations, Alec.
Alec got money. So do you think that this dismissal in the criminal case is going to stop Gloria Allred?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. You just gave an example with Ryan Twyman. With his family, they received 3.9 M's, and then later on, nobody got convicted.
But that one went a little different. They actually settled the civil case
Before.
They didn't even know a criminal case was going to come because remember, that was under a different DA, Jackie Lacey. She determined there was no reason to file charges against any of those deputies. But George Gascon came in, different perspective, new eyes, and said, nah, I didn't like the way he went back to his trunk, pulled out another rifle, and fired more shots in the car, and then he charged him. So that one went a little bit different. But I got a clip of Gloria Allred talking her mess. We got that ready?
She the white female Johnny Cochran. She don't do much losing, bro.
Nah, she's coming for the money.
Well, today, an attorney in a civil lawsuit targeting a host of rest workers for the shooting spoke out about Baldwin's verdict. News 13's Chandler Farnsworth has more.
High-profile attorney Gloria Allred, who is representing the Hutchins family, says no one is above the law, and she will work to bring them some form of justice.
The dismissal of the criminal case against Alec Baldwin is in no way, shape, or form an exoneration of him. The court's decision is not a decision on the merits of the criminal case against him.
The lawsuit claims the Rust production was filled.
There you go, Gloria Allred pursuing the civil case, and it goes back to what we were talking about before. These are two systems. These are two different court systems, and one doesn't influence. One is not supposed to influence the other. So even though the criminal case against Alec Baldwin, it's a wrap, they can't even refile on him. It's done. Gloria Allred can still come.
She gonna get it.
Yeah.
So one don't really affect the other, but one strengthen the other. So if somebody did get convicted on this side, then go for the civil, that better is better for the civil side.
Yeah, you guaranteed that civil victory once there's a criminal conviction.
But if it's a dismissal over here, that don't mean the civil shit won't go through. So
True.
Yeah, okay.
I got a question for both you guys. How old do you think attorney Gloria Allred is?
Just because you add, I'm gonna say 70.
70. I know you can't see Munchie, but you heard her voice. Sometimes you can tell someone's age by their voice, huh?
She seemed real firm, bro.
Yeah.
She seemed like a cold authority figure. I'm saying like in her 50, mid to early 50s.
83 years old.
Ooh, she look good. God
83.
Damn.
What is she?
White.
She's a white lady.
Boy, she look good for 83, homie.
But look,
she done had
Spider.
plenty plastic surgery.
This woman has been on the news since you was a kid.
That's why I guess
83.
70. I didn't know I had to go higher than that. She looks too good.
I don't know her background. This is the first time I've ever. Hey, hold on.
I've been seeing this woman on
Every time a woman has a high profile, they the victim of something, she the one jump up. All the women, she always there through the years.
Hold on. So I don't want to offend nobody. Never mind. Go ahead.
What you gonna do? Age discrimination?
No, because you know the thing is black don't crack. You know what I'm saying? And then
Her white stayed right.
White people don't really age as well as we do, and she's 83.
She's an exception. You know it's an exception to every rule too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She do not look 83, bro. But then I've seen Vanna White without her makeup on.
Not cute.
Not at all.
I'm
Bless
sorry,
you,
Vanna.
Vanna.
I'm sorry, Vanna.
Yes.
No, Vanna, you was fine back in the day, but as you know, we all age, we lose our youthful attraction, right?
Hey, you the number guy, Alex. I want you to run some statistics. Get it like male versus female attorneys, and who got a higher success rate? Because I'm already in my mind, females are better attorneys than males.
Look, if I was in big trouble fighting a case, any case, especially a criminal case, I would go with a female attorney because I know that my conversation with her is going to be a conversation that she's going to embrace more being a female than a man. I think what happens, there's a dynamic, like a mother-son dynamic that comes about. Because I notice when I talk to a lot of female attorneys with their male clients, and most of the male clients are in their 20s, these female attorneys are like in their 40s or 50s. I noticed that there's like this mother-son dynamic that develops, and there's more attention and care given by the female attorney to their younger male client. And I whenever I observe this, I like it, because I see that there's a sincere effort to give this man the best possible defense that you can get.
Hey, it's crazy you said. I think you hit it on the nose, right? And shout out Miss Whitfield and then Miss Cheryl Nellen. But I had a case, and the woman, like, she refused. She wasn't trying to give me my paperwork, but she was getting at me like you said, like a son, right? But I guess she looking at me and my co-defendants, and then one of our probably on our cases, a female, you know what I'm saying, that ended up running her mouth. But she was protecting me from me though, you know what I'm saying? She don't want to get this paperwork out and we get to run our mouth in the hood.
That's how they operate though. When they suspicious that you might want the paperwork because somebody telling, they gonna put you through loops to try to get it.
But she read the room and she did what was best for me, and you know what I'm saying? And she's not a paid attorney, and she was getting at me like on some, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm ready to fire her. How is this BITCH telling me I can't, you know what I'm saying? But she came and hollered at me at the end, you know what I'm saying? And we did our thing on that shit too. We got it dismissed, but yeah, no. Shout out them the women doing their thing.
No, but there's some good male attorneys. Right now, one of the most popular, high profile criminal defense attorneys that's all over social media is our guy Rosenberg.
Shout out Nick.
And he does a great job in the courtroom. If I was in a situation, I would consider Rosenberg too. But I feel I work really good with female attorneys. I really do. I've seen more success, and they listen to me. I'm able to give my perspective, and they literally integrate it into their defense. Whereas some male attorneys are like, I'm listening to what you got to say, Alex, but I'm gonna go this way, But
right.
Okay. So
what's the attorney name? Steele.
Which one?
Thug attorney Steele.
Oh yeah,
man, that's the most gangster act I've seen all 2024, and I got the utmost respect for that man. They was trying to detain him or whatever word you want to use, and I just asked that I be house with Mr. Williams so we could continue working on this case, and that was gangster to me, bro.
The way that turned out, I think he stole them gangster points because I think he knew he wasn't gonna do no time.
Hey, well, guess what? If you catfished me, man, you got me, bro. That was that was gangster, bro.
Now, Gloria Allred is a great attorney to have too, but she mostly specializes in women's rights. So if it's a female situation, or in this case, the victim here is a woman, so she's gonna go out and get almost all the bread possible for the Hutchins family.
They're gonna settle out of court
that they can get. And this was you're right, Spider. This was in New Mexico, in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Did it mention the fact that he had just downgraded his whole production crew from SAG workers to nobodies?
No, but I did read that in an article shortly after he was charged. I guess he was charged either early this year or last year when he was charged. I was shocked that they were going to charge him. I'm like, damn, that was purely an accident.
So he going through this because he's hard to work with, basically. He's difficult to work with.
Who, Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, because like you said, his production crew all quitted on him.
Because it was very unprofessional.
Yeah, so.
And he probably shouldn't have been playing with the gun. I don't know if the shooting was during a scene or they were just playing around.
I think that's why the initial controversy is because, see what they just said? Somehow they were suggesting someone slipped a live round on purpose to make a tragedy. And that's what the whole thing was at first.
Okay, this goes back to your point, Spider. Let me read this paragraph here on this article. This is from Gloria Allred. Our case is important because we believe that everyone, yes, even celebrities like Alec Baldwin and producers, should follow accepted safety protocols so that all crew members have a safe workplace, Allred said. This is back to maybe it wasn't as safe as a normal high-budget set was. Maybe they were cutting corners. Right. Maybe they weren't hiring everybody they were supposed to hire.
But you know what might be a thing though? I think what Spider just last month when he was on the set of something or however long ago it was, that might have became protocol after this incident.
What
how they announced it? Everybody on the set?
No, I've been seeing that for years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Prior to this case?
Yeah.
Okay.
These protocols and safety guidelines for guns on the set is old. At least 20 I want to say since probably when Bruce Lee's son got killed on the set.
I'm sure because I got familiar with the process like 05, 06, so I'm sure it was way before that.
I'm gonna pull up Bruce Lee's son's death. I'm gonna say this happened like
89,
wow,
86.
93.
Oh, 93. Okay.
I thought it was maybe 20 years ago.
He was closer.
Damn,
30 years ago.
That's when I graduated high school.
So on March 31st, 1993, while filming The Crow, Bruce Lee Jr. died from a wound on set caused by a firearm malfunction. The lead tip of a bullet from a previous scene had stayed in the barrel of a handgun and ruptured a major blood vessel when a blank was shot at Lee. And I thought this was a self-inflicted, but yeah, 93. So since 93, they've had strict protocols in place. I don't think this has happened since Alec Baldwin.
I've heard it mentioned. I heard that actually discussed, and I believe you might be correct.
Yeah, I'm unaware of anyone else getting killed on the set from a gun since Bruce Lee's son. You know?
That's crazy.
Yeah. What else did I want to say about this? Oh, I wanted to ask you guys, Gloria Allred, she's pursuing the civil case, wrongful death. What do you think the dollar amount is going to be to end this case? Or will Alec Baldwin take it to trial and say, hey, it was an accident. I'm not liable to pay anything.
You have to be liable in the sense of, like, if I break my leg on your property and you have like a chip porch or something, he's liable. That's why they have these double processes. We couldn't get you criminally, but civilly, this woman lost her life because she was at your production. So you're going to have to pay something, bro.
So yeah, this was an Alec Baldwin production. He wasn't just the actor in it. He was also, yeah. So,
but where's they starting at? What they asking for? So,
I don't even think they even got to any dollar amounts at this point.
I think it's going to all be this undisclosed. I think that's all that's going to happen behind the scenes. And when they announce it, it's going to be an undisclosed amount, non-disclosure.
So I can't even give a guess to me because I don't know what the starting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, apparently the husband filed or settled in 2022. The husband of Miss Hutchinson or Miss Hutchins settled, and also multiple family members can come at Alec Baldwin. I think spouses and children.
So who is Gloria representing if the husband already?
Yeah, Gloria's not representing the husband. So, but let me see here how much. Let's see if they published what he got. Nearly 1 year after Hutchins, 42, was shot and killed on the New Mexico set of the Western movie. When a loaded gun held by Baldwin was discharged, the producers have reached a settlement with her husband, Matthew.
Undisclosed.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have the amount here. So, yeah, that's another thing. There can be multiple lawsuits from multiple people. I know if she has any children, they can come.
Is there any way to figure out who Gloria is representing?
Yeah, let me see if who Gloria is representing because she's probably gonna settle an amount real soon too.
You know what's crazy? Gloria is 83, bro, and she still got her mind, bro.
Yeah, she blessed.
And then you got Biden that's 70, 70 what?
Wait, you telling me Biden ain't 80?
I think
he's knocking on 80.
He's close to 80.
Oh, yes.
He's 79 and then Trump is 75, right? So my thing is who is the vice president? What?
Kamala.
Okay, instead of saying, I'm running with Kamala, he said, I'm running with Trump. He said Trump by accident, like Trump gonna be his vice president. Yeah. So he making mistakes like that, but you got this lady that's 83 and knocking shit out the park in courtrooms. That's crazy.
And she sounded pretty just sane and normal.
Sharp as a tack.
Very sharp.
Yes.
She need to donate her brain to study after she passed on.
Yeah, man.
She's sharp, bro.
Yeah, she is.
I think that she should have retired and enjoy her 80s in peace, but shoot, she's going after another check. She's going after another bag.
It ain't even the money.
She got paralegals and all that. Her actual work is probably very minute, bro.
No, bro, it's passion, bro. It ain't even about the money with her no more.
It's definitely not. And you know, her daughter following her footsteps too. Her daughter's doing the same thing. Went to law school. But I was just wondering how much money you think Gloria Allred is going to try to get out of this guy, because it's not really published here, but usually these settlements could be in the hundreds of thousands. I just read you what Twyman's family got, $3.9 million, but that was murder.
Yeah, but I think this would be like
this is accidental death.
But I think it's gonna be based on how they gonna consider his status, his financial potential, and it's gonna be factors.
All right, I don't know who she's representing,
She's
but
about to bang him because that's negligence for one. You know what I'm saying? And they like no, it ain't gonna be no 100. No, it's gonna be in the millions.
Gloria ain't coming around for no 100,000 or nothing.
It ain't about the money with her. She still gonna bang you.
yeah, I mean maybe she can squeeze out $1 million.
That's what you feel?
Higher.
It's because it was an accident. It wasn't like
It's negligence.
It's not. That's not what they're doing. It's still about the amount of loss.
Yeah.
And the potential that a lot of time in these type of cases, they factor in the potential earnings of this type of person and what they would have been able to do and the losses of those around them. So it's not necessarily your intention that makes it punitive. It's the loss in general.
I know that when they first filed their motions, Gloria Allred or whatever attorney's doing it, they usually put a really high figure in there, and usually that figure's like between 10 and 15 million.
And they
usually don't get that.
Of course not.
But they're gonna start off with 10 to 15 million.
That's just in general, like in negotiating period though. You start high.
Hey, I don't understand why they can't figure out a way to use fake guns in a movie. I don't know, like, why haven't they developed a foolproof, 100% safe gun that they could use in movies?
Everything else they got.
But here's the thing: we only know of 2 deaths in the last 30 years. Is it even worth developing? You know,
It is.
it's worth it to those two, to the families of those 2 people, but financially to develop it, to invent it, to come up with it, it's not like it's a major problem.
Is Gloria strictly civil or is she?
Yeah, she's a civil attorney.
But like Munchie was saying, us as viewers, the on your march, get set, go pistol wouldn't work. We don't even need an authentic sound because we believe in that fucking silencer sound. That's a fake sound, and that works for movies. Don't no shit sound like that. So why does it have to be such an authentic moment when you shoot a pistol?
Yeah, I don't know.
And the passion come from a particular place with him being that he was just on set getting bust on.
Bro,
All right, I wanted to tap in with this. Munchie, you just finished having a conversation with Flacco, and you guys were talking about something that Akademiks said on his show regarding Los Angeles, Brick Baby, and crime. Can you give us a little background on that, and then we'll go to a clip.
All right, because I hadn't even looked at the initial clip. I should have did my homework before Cartoon and Flacco sitting there. But what I gathered just going through YouTube, and then he trying to defend Akademiks, and he was saying that basically, he was just saying that it's a good No, he was. Why are y'all mad that he's saying that it's not that bad out here? That showed y'all character based on y'all just so ready to defend that's a bad place. You know what I'm saying? But it's the intent. He was trying to insult the people from out here and compare us to other places like Chicago, Jacksonville, Philadelphia, and say like basically we not built like that.
Akademiks was saying that.
Akademiks was saying that.
So he's putting LA down to a certain degree.
Right, and I guess the thing was this ATK and Brick Baby thing, and he was trying to really discredit Brick Baby, but while doing that, you made a blanket statement and disrespected a whole lot of other people also.
I'm surprised Brick Baby came up as a topic on one of Akademiks' shows because he usually stays with strictly hip hop topics that are high profile.
No, they got history already.
Oh,
yeah, no. They had some back and forth, but the dudes that Brick Baby's going back and forth, they crew is called ATK, and then they was opposing Folio, who just got killed.
Yeah.
And that's right up Akademiks' alley.
Okay, let's listen to this clip of DJ Akademiks talking about Brick Baby on his show.
And Akademiks is from where?
Jersey.
Oh, not Canada.
No, he's from Jersey.
I thought he was from Canada.
Look at this.
Lower that a little bit.
Nah. Hey, LA, y'all do y'all gang stuff and everything, but when it comes to some of this ignorant, chaotic violence, y'all just chill out, because put it like this. You see when Brick Baby get draped up and choked out, he got to call his big homie, then they politic it, and they call this gang member and call that gang member. In motherfucking Chicago, a nigga get choked out, he just killing. Nobody needs to be talked to. That nigga's just dead. Like, LA's like politics. Yeah, he hit up his big homie and called this big homie. You do something to a nigga in Chicago, nigga, the only thing he gonna talk to is his switch. That's a fact. He not finna be like, all right, you choke me out online, you gotta die. I'm being honest. You're not gonna see them online like I didn't really get choked out. Like they doing play this. Look, I'm instigating. Yo, they doing Brick Baby like he's AOKD. Yo, I like AOKD. I'm joking. Let me stop. Yo, Brick, I fuck with you, but leave Jacksonville alone, like for your own health. Like, no disrespect. And I'm not saying
I think we got
you
the
ain't
point
whatever
on
you
that
claim
one.
you are, but
Okay, now I don't think that's the part we was looking for. But, you know what I'm saying? Because he was basically comparing different places, and Philadelphia, Jacksonville, Chicago. Then he downplaying L.A. Like on a gangster scale, basically. You know what I'm saying? And you offended like a demographic out here doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I want to. Which one is it, bro? So what if Brick Baby would have pulled out a blick and then did something bad to P Nice? Then y'all would have said it was uncalled for. Why would he do that? His daughter was right there.
Why would you have it though?
But no, not why would you have it? What do y'all want, bro? Because you got people like Flacco that act like he want peace amongst blacks and all that shit. And then you got academics say we stupid for the Chicago niggas is Neanderthals and killing each other. But then like busters when they don't carry out what y'all hear in this music though. So which one is it though? I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, there's some mixed messages there that contradict itself because basically what it sounded like DJ Akademiks was saying was that LA he's calling for Brick Baby or LA to be more violent, to react more aggressive, to kill somebody because he got choked out or someone put hands on him. But at the same time, he's criticizing violence that happens in places like Los Angeles and Chicago. So what does he want? Does he want peace, or does he just want to make up silly topics to talk about? That I didn't get it.
I don't even get why we give a fuck about what he think about what we got going on. I don't get him like
No. It's important because you don't want people to be trying to meet the standard of a nigga that got forced security and don't live where we live. Because he trying to compare and contrast and shit. I ain't about to defend where we from being tough or none of that shit. It's just like if you go disrespect Brick Baby, disrespect him. Don't insult everybody else along the way. Like,
but what big homie did Brick Baby have to call? Who was he referring to?
He read too many books. That's what I'm saying.
Because that's what happens when you get your concept of our culture from the internet. You're going to be misinformed. He's obviously misinformed. And what I find real ironic is how everybody's trying to highlight that LA got all this structure, politics, and hierarchy. I can remember 20 years ago, they used to talk bad about LA because we had a lack thereof. And they used to talk about how Chicago gangs was so structured, how you got the prints and you got rankings and you got to have literature and knowledge. So when did this dynamic change when we became the so well-established organized sect and they have this chaotic? It seemed like, do you remember when the Chicago scene was described as more structured than ours?
There was a time when Chicago gangs, they actually had identified named leaders that were elected within the gang.
Princes.
They had lieutenants. Mm-hmm. They had all these rankings. We're talking about the El Rukins, the Blackstone Nation, the Gangster Disciples. All of those gangs on the south side of Chicago were far more structured during the 70s, 80s, even the 90s. Now it just seems like a bunch of youngsters just running around.
Thank you. Even Ice Cube back in the day told y'all it's the youngsters putting in the most work. Dr. Dre told you, didn't know we had a 22. We been in saying fuck a big homie and all that. Y'all got it twisted because y'all hear certain shit. But niggas going against the grain, doing what they want to do, being buck wild, that was this out here, bro. You don't see no real big homie element even in Minister Society. My bad.
You forgot when I was surprised. You quoted them.
Which one was the other one?
Your boy Ned. Tiny Lokes run the streets. Where we from?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You forgot your boy.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Hey, bro. I don't know. I
was trying to show how historically we've been like that. That's why I was talking about we've been like that back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But was DJ Akademiks trying to say LA is not lit because Brick Baby didn't have P Nice killed? Is that what he's insinuating?
I don't know. And people be contradicting what y'all want.
He's saying that if someone got choked out in Chicago, that dude would have got killed, like immediately the next day.
I honestly, me as a teenager in one of these states where they get away with a lot in Chicago. They what's the conviction rate out there?
Who knows,
bro? They get slaps on the wrist, or they be beating cases that it be sounding like they supposed to be dead bang for. That don't happen out here.
No, we got an aggressive.
And down here, LA County, black people are scared to go to Torrance. We didn't want to go get nothing to eat in Torrance. They go bake you.
Yeah.
You get caught in Torrance and go to Torrance Court. I
went to prison from Torrance.
See, exactly where you would have went. You would have been in another state, because I ain't gonna say because they get offended. Or you probably would have went home.
I'm gonna tell you the worst courts in LA County, jury wise. Torrance Court,
Pasadena,
and the Lancaster Court. I think it's Mike Antonovich Court in Lancaster. The jury pool in a Lancaster Court.
That's the Simi Valley area.
No, that's Antelope Valley. Forget about it. In the Antelope Valley.
That's two. You only got 2 courts?
Yeah, those are the 2 worst that I can. I'm gonna tell you the best courts to be in.
Can I guess?
Go ahead. Spider already said one of them.
And CCB.
Yep. Downtown Los Angeles, you're gonna get a better jury pool. In Compton, you're gonna get a great jury pool, because a lot of those Compton jurors, they could relate.
Yes.
Yeah. And downtown LA, you're gonna get at least 2 or 3 black people on that jury too.
And a lot of Hispanics.
Yeah, you're gonna get some Hispanics too.
Oh, what about Riverside County?
Well, that's not. I just said within LA County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I know for a fact CCB.
Yeah, Riverside. Basically,
the worst, huh?
Basically, they just take the rope, they put it around your neck, and that's it in Riverside County.
They got like a 97% conviction rate, something like that's high.
Yeah, the whole Riverside County is like a Torrance Court.
There you go.
Yeah,
definitely.
There's no diversity. You know, at least LA got its pockets where you might get a good jury here, and there's some other courts. I've seen some success in San Fernando Court. Pasadena Court is hit and miss. The Airport Court, that's hit and miss. A lot of people, actually a lot of Inglewood cases end up in the Airport Court.
They got a fine black
I had
defense attorney up there.
I had a robbery at LAX Court.
You familiar with the LAX Court? Yeah.
But LAX Court is tricky because you
tell them who you gonna see up there.
No, it don't like where you like it be West LA dudes. Like our case, we had a case out at UCLA. UCPD came and got us and shit. And we ended up at LAX Court. You know what I mean? So like I don't know how they little jurisdiction go with LAX, but yeah,
it's sort of that West LA part of town, and a little bit of Inglewood. I guess it depends on what part of Inglewood.
That's where my DUI, Rosenberg, he represented my DUI up out of LAX Court.
LAX Court?
Yeah.
How'd you end up in LAX Court? Where were you at when you got popped?
Leaving Beverly Hills, but in Culver City.
Okay, there you go. The west side.
On the freeway.
Nah, Inglewood, you ain't going to LAX.
I had a case years ago. You ever heard of this Mexican gang called 40 Ounce Posse?
Never.
Never heard of 40 Ounce Posse? They were in Inglewood, and he had a case. It was
no. I just the posse thing I never heard of. I used to see 40 Ounce hit up.
Okay, 40 Ounce with some Mexicans. And I had a 40 Ounce case at an airport court. They were I forget what street they hung out on. I don't think they exist anymore.
No, I think
they got played out.
Yeah, I think there was a crew that played out.
Yeah, but they caught some cases, and they were their trials were at LAX Court.
I was at LAX Court. I think it was a female. I think she was from Gear Gang, like last year. But she filed on him in the lobby on some gangbang shit too. It wasn't on no dick and pussy. She was like, whoop. She was from Harlem, and I think the nigga was from Gear Gang, and he was in there telling. Well, poster telling. He came out. She got the woofing on him. He was woofing back. She filed on him and bust his lip, had him leaking.
That's right, baby.
Oh God.
Hey, just to wrap up this academic clip, I'm not really sure what his main message was, but it didn't come across as
I don't think that was the
logical.
clip he was really looking for.
But it was
that one didn't hit that hard.
Yeah, no. That wasn't the clip. Yes, I still ain't heard it, but like, no, you know what I'm saying? And you know what? A lot of people like that. It's a little too clean out here for their taste. You know what I'm saying? So that like you go to the Bronx or you go to certain like ghettos, like it look like you reading the books. You know what I'm saying?
Real poverty. Yeah.
So like for example, just like Cartoon said, they was having a funeral in the Inglewood NHP hood. He said he had no clue that was their hood until the homie, shout out Big Hat Pint, popped up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did Cartoon and Flacco mention their potential boxing match?
Nah. It was mostly like politics and just, you know what I'm saying, general talking and schooling and gaming Flacco so he could stop sounding so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Giving his opinion on shit he don't know nothing about.
Yeah, he gave Flacco a lot of game. I think Flacco was embracing it too. But yeah, a lot of people come to Los Angeles. It don't even matter if you're in LA, Inglewood, even Compton. You drive around, neighborhoods look really nice.
Exactly.
Especially if you're from the East Coast, if you're from Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore and you drive around
St.
LA's
Louis,
hood,
Memphis.
you're not gonna think you in a hood.
Honestly, it's only two places in Compton I really think look what you call hood though.
They got to be on the east side.
The Fruittown Pyrus, bro, because they down there don't got no sidewalk. Like Fruittown.
Oh, that east side with all them tiny streets. Yeah, I know that little
then,
area with
you
all
know,
them little bitty streets. That shit do look
Hell
bad.
yeah. Even in the Santanas, 2 cars can't even go down the same street, going the opposite directions of each other. And then you go to the Grandies, and that's the only part of the nutty blocks. And the Grandies, you know, you go get the feel, but like they got nice homes in Compton, especially in the forums.
All right, I got a Compton question for you guys in terms of communities because I looked at the data on this. What gang neighborhood covers a community where the residents actually have the highest income of all Compton residents? What gang would be there? Highest income?
West Side.
Is it the West Side Pyrus or the Front Hoods?
It was Lantana Block.
Wow, because they
that's
closest
Carson,
to Carson,
man.
closest to Carson and Gardena.
No disrespect.
Yeah, but there's
they in Compton.
They're in Compton for sure.
But they're on the borderline of Carson and
Gardena.
Gardena.
The Lantana Block community has basically, you can say, the richest people that live in Compton. They're not rich, but I'm just saying they have higher incomes in that section of Compton.
What's Lantana borders?
That's been a while.
Central, Caldwell, and basically, well, they don't go all the way to Avalon because it ain't residential. So Hemingway Park, Alondra, Caldwell, Central. That's like their parameter.
Okay, Caldwell to Alondra is most definitely Compton.
Okay, here's another one. This one's a harder one. For all of Los Angeles, what neighborhood, what gang neighborhood has the highest income residents?
60s.
Nah.
Show lines.
Hold on, you said
60s would come in close. Nah, there's a gang. I think they're well known. The Mansfield Gangster Crips.
Oh, it's West LA. Okay,
and they going into Beverly Hills when you get to certain parts of West LA.
The Mansfields. I haven't checked. I think the Playboys would be a little higher than the 60s. The 60s got some grimy, low-income sections, though. You know, 10th Ave, Bryanhurst, Victoria.
Oh, yeah, they have the full spectrum.
Yeah,
but they got some fly shit.
They do got some fly homes over there.
Look, everything east of West Boulevard in the 60s, you go get that.
Yeah, definitely. If you go east of West Boulevard, then you're taking all the money away from the 60s.
Yeah.
That's the Overhill. The Overhill side got the money.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, man. I'm tired. It's hot. Let's wrap this up. Any final thoughts that you want to let the people know, Spider? What's going on?
Man, Black Box 2.0 is still in construction. We'll be back moving real soon. And just keep politicking with us right here, Straight Politicking.
Everybody tap in or tap out with me, man. The social medias is in the notes. You know what I'm saying? We got shit coming. Everybody stay dangerous out there.
Yeah, tap in with all of us. All our Instagram links are in the show notes below. And thanks for tapping in with another episode of Straight Politicking.